Hello and welcome back to another Innistrad Crimson Vow Draft. My name's Al. I'm here with How to Draft MTG on YouTube. If you like these videos, please do click like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/howtodraftmtg. If you have questions or comments or just want to talk some magic with me, please do leave a comment in the comment box below. There's a video I made a few days ago called Draft Strategy Pick Order and archetype overview for Crimson Vow. You can check that out if you want to know sort of my thoughts on the draft format. Very, very early thoughts, of course, as we don't know a ton about the format just yet. Although some information has come out on 17 Lands. I've been checking it out. A couple of cards that have sort of surprised. I was surprised to see having as high win rates as they do. Obviously, small sample size, etc., etc. But I think it's worth sort of touching on that and starting to see sort of what cards are outliers, or at least sort of defied expectations a little bit, and try to find out why and how we can sort of utilize that to do better in our drafts. All right, pack one, pick one here. We've got Howlpack Piper as the rare, 4-mana 2/2. Can't be countered, which doesn't matter a ton. Although Syncopate, right off the bat, is a card that's doing better than I would have thought it would. I haven't really played much with Syncopate, so that's probably why I don't really know how good it is, but it's looking like the second best blue common. 1 green tap, put a creature into play. If it's a wolf, you get to do it again, I guess, and it flips into something gross. So that's our rare. I don't think it's better than Hero's Downfall, which is not the best black uncommon on 17 lands, but a flexible and powerful removal spell. I think the 2-mana deal 3, gain 3 is a little bit better. It's also in a Braid in the pack, which would be in contention as well, and is actually possibly the correct pick over Downfall. So I think those two are pretty close. Red-black is a front-running archetype. Also red-green, surprisingly, is a front-runner thus far. So we'll keep an eye open for cards like that. Archetypes that look like they're not doing as well. Black-green, green-white, green-blue. So green, maybe not the best color in this format, but I've had really good experiences with the blood synergies and blood tokens in general. So a card like Pointed Discussion, for example, is doing quite a bit better on 17 lands than I would have thought heading into the set, and that's probably to do with blood, but also potentially to do with the format being a bit slower than we were used to seeing. Some of these card draw spells have been performing well. So I'm chatting a bunch. We're looking at a rare. It's not playable. A Demonic Bargain. Distracting Geist is fine, not great. Cloak Cadet is fine, not great. I think we're going to take Bleed Dry to go with our Downfall. Start with 2 premium removal spells. The removal in this set is worse than in Midnight Hunt on average, but you want to have access to a lot of it, I think. There's some really good rares that you want to be able to kill, and there's some creatures that do just kind of get out of hand that you want to be able to kill. So I've been very impressed with Bleed Dry, even though it's not the best rate. 4-mana kill anything is good. And the other thing, too, is like color balance, too, right? When people look at this, they think Feed the Serpent in Kaldheim, but like black was close to unplayable in Kaldheim, at least for most of the format. People sort of figured out green-black elves later on, but I think the win rate of a card like this is very dependent on its color, especially because it's double pipped, so you can't really splash it. Okay, Sawblade Slinger, not super interested in that. Vampire Slayer is a 2-drop. Mind Leech Ghoul is a 2-drop. Weaver of Blossoms is a 3-drop that ramps us. None of these cards are very exciting. Yeah, I don't know what to. I don't know what to tell you. I was gonna say Ridge Wolf too. I think it might be Mind Leech Ghoul actually. I'd rather stay one color. Ridge Wolf is like fine in black red, but we should have taken the Mind Leech Ghoul there because it's essentially the same card except it stays on color. So mark that as a slight mispick. Soul Cipher board is not really something that I've seen be awesome yet. We'll see. I think it should, in theory, be good in blue-green because you're trying to mill yourself a bunch, except that blue-green doesn't have a lot of ways to actually mill itself, aside from the Uncommon Spider and Mulch. Which are both good cards. It's just how many of those you expect to see in a draft. I don't know. So that archetype, in terms of like being a pure synergy archetype, I don't think really works. For us here, we're going to stay on color. Diagraph Scavenger has performed quite well according to 17 lands thus far. Not really much else in this pack that we love. Skywarp Scob I like. 17 lands does not. But anyhow, pick 5. Oh boy, Signal City here. It's a lot of blue cards. That's a lot of blue cards. I mean, you talk about pack collation, but can't imagine anybody's taken a blue card if there's this many. And I think Thirst for Discovery is another card I missed on in my original video, as just something that's been performing quite well and is a great rate. Draw 3 is really good. Instant speed's really good. It plays very well with removal spells. We can hold up a Hero's Downfall or a Bleed Dry, and if we don't need to use it, then we just draw 3. It's pretty good. Also works with cards like Syncopate, which maybe we'll get to wheel out of this pack. Also a Traveling Minister in the pack, which is one of the top white commons, and a Gluttonous Guest, which is a solid black common. So we'll keep an eye out for those as potential signals. Looks like black is flowing, which is nice. And we'll see if blue continues to flow. That could be just an anomaly. I like Falconwrath Celebrants, and I like Ragged Recluse. Both of these are black-red-ish cards. Falconwrath is literally red. Ragged Recluse needs blood to really go off, but I think it's pretty good when it does. Tempted to take that here, because if I were going to move into red, I'd rather do it for a cheaper card than a more expensive card, but Celebrants is a good card. Don't sleep on this one. There's also a Chill of the Grave, which is a good blue card, and I could see taking that as well, but I think we'll just keep rocking black here. We got a good core black cards going. Might as well stay on that train. This pool would look better if I'd taken that Mind Leech thing. So we wouldn't have a random red card sitting here, but that's all right. So we got Pointed Discussion. We've got Weaver of Blossoms as cards I'm looking at in this pack. We wheeled, do we wheel Demonic Bargain? No, there's just a second one open, and the card's very bad, so don't put that in your deck. Dreadlight Monstrosity. This card actually can kind of get it done. You just have to have stuff that gets exiled. It's not a card you want to like prioritize or anything, but I think we're going to take Pointed Discussion here, as we have 2 card draw spells now, which is not great, but Creating Blood is good, and I think it's just a good rate card. Syncopate in the pack. Boarded Window has not looked good, according to 17 lands anyways. Yeah, I mean, the fact that this doesn't help you when you're attacking is not great. So you're really turtling up, and I have not been a fan of it yet. You let me know in the comments if you've had a good experience with it. So I like Syncopate here. I like Blood Fountain here, and we'll just take the black card to try and stay a little bit deeper on one color. But blue is, I would say, lightly flowing from the right. Lightly flowing. Syncopate was nice to see pick 8. That's something that gives me some confidence in blue. Nurturing Presence, meh. Sporeback Wolf, meh. These blue cards are not very good. Not being able to block is a pretty big deal, I think, on this Wanderlight Spirit. So I think we either take the Aim for the Head or the Fearful Villager. I'm going to take the Villager here, but that's very close. And pick 10 Flourishing Hunter. You don't say. I think this is gonna end up being the best green common, if not like the second best. I'm tempted to take it here. I don't think that black-green is all that good, but if we end up with like 4 of these Flourishing Hunters or something, then the deck's going to just work. So I'm going to take it over the Draw 2, which we already have a copy of, and we already have Thirst for Discovery, so we don't need more card draw at the moment. What we do need is 2 drops, and for that reason, I think we're going to take Vampire Slayer, even though we're not in white yet. 2 drops are always the most important spot on your curve, almost always in limited, and we're gonna snap that up here. So the blue didn't quite pan out. We know, okay, all right. As I say that, I think we pick up the Syncopate here over the second Vampire Slayer. This card is very, very marginal. It is a 2-drop. You're gonna play it if you don't have enough, but it's not a priority. Syncopate, I think, is more of a priority. Oh boy, Wedding Announcement though. This is a bomb. 3 mana enchantment, 2 and a white at the beginning of your end step. Put a invitation counter on it. If you attack with 2 creatures, you draw a card. Otherwise, you get a creature. So it's helping you. If you're already ahead on board, you're drawing more cards. If you need bodies, it'll give you that, and then it flips after 3 turns into Glorious Anthem. So that's pretty dope. We got another Thirst for Discovery. I don't know how many of these you really want in a given deck. What else we got? Skulking Killer, not really a playable card as far as I'm aware. Sigarda's Imprisonment, Traveling Minister, Siphon Essence, all these cards are pretty bad. So Ragged Recluse, the only black card in the pack that we care about. So what? We could take Honored Heirloom or Evolving Wilds for fixing, or we could take, I think we take Wedding Announcement on the long shot that we end up playing white. That's a good reason to get into white. So this pack, what we have to decide is what we thought was flowing to us in pack 1, because in pack 3 we're gonna expect to see that again. So I believe black was flowing. We didn't get like anything absurd after the first couple picks. We got a Scavenger, we got a Blood Fountain. So black was kind of happening. Blue seemed to be happening. We got next to last pick, Syncopate. So if I had to guess, I think we're going to end up black-blue. So any of our tie-break decisions are going to sort of lean towards black-blue. But we also need to consider our curve, which needs 2s very badly. This red rare is not playable. Sanguine Statue is pretty good. It's between that, Stitch Assistant, and Belligerent Guest Desperate Farmer. I think we'll take the Farmer. Again, just get deeper into black, but that's a very close pick, and I could be wrong in a lot of different ways there. Okay. But I do think this card is actually pretty good. When you're exploiting things, turning it into a 4/3 lifelink, that's big game. And if we're in blue-black, we're going to want to be exploiting. So that's my reason for taking that there. If we took the red artifact, it becomes a 3/3 when you use blood, then we'd be sort of thinking we want to get into red-black, which I could see happening, but we don't have any amazing reasons to be red right now. And I still wish we had that Mind Leech Ghoul. No good red cards in this pack, no good white cards. I guess Militia Rallier's okay. Grizzly Ritual versus Cruel Witness. I think we're going to take Grizzly Ritual. It's not an amazing removal spell, but again, we want to have access to removal where we can, and it makes 2 bloods. I mean, the card's not great, but it does the thing. Does the thing that you want it to do. Similarly, we could pick up a Gift of Fangs here, which has not been amazing, but it's a low curve removal spell, which we don't have access to yet. I think if we don't take that, we take Traveling Minister or Evolving Wilds. Something like Nature's Embrace, we have no real use for. If we had picked up like some, I guess we have a one rare we want to splash, but I think we're gonna take the Gift of Fangs just to stay on black. But Minister is a good one as well. Okay, Blood Petal Celebrant is a reason to start taking red cards. Still not really seeing blue, weirdly. You would think with Syncopate coming around that late, we would be seeing some blue. Wretched Throng is fine, but if we don't get multiples of it, we're not going to be very happy with it. Gluttonous Guest is also fine, and that's probably what we're taking. I like Kindly Ancestor a good amount, but it's not a 2-drop. If this was the Drog Skull Infantry, that might push us in that direction. Just because of how badly we need 2s right now. But taking an off-color 3 versus an on-color 3 to me is pretty much like a wash. So we're taking the on-color card. Okay, Wolf Strike has performed way better than I expected it would. It's the top win rate green common so far. I don't think we're going to take it. We could. We just haven't really been seeing a ton of good reasons to be green. I think I'm going to take the... There's a Lacerate Flesh too. I'm going to take the Screaming Swarm here. Still sort of holding on to blue as the color we're most likely to pair black with, but it's close. Real close. Hard to say. I mean, it's going to be kind of right down to the wire. I think here we take probably the Socialite. We don't have a ton of ways to make blood early, but the card has been good. Yeah, we got the Blood Fountain as well. Just looking like, I mean, Stitch Assistant, like, what are we sacrificing to that? Nothing at the moment, so it makes it tough to want to pick it up here. Medium green stuff. There's a Cobbled Lancer. I don't hate that. We can fit that into the curve somewhere later in the game if we're exploiting, etc. Yeah, I think we pick it up. This Courier Bat, I'm also looking at. We do have a lifelink creature and a gluttonous guest that could potentially trigger that, but I don't think it's a super high priority. Okay, Mana Rock, a Blood Servitor. We don't need any more 3s. And this pack is full of 3s. So I guess, yeah, okay, sure. Let's take Boarded Window. Maybe we end up playing it. I don't think we will. I was thinking about taking the red 6-drop, but we're not seeing red cards. We weren't seeing them in pack 1. We're not seeing them in pack 2. I think it'd be not a great move to move into red for pack 3. That being said, I think it's either Wedding Invitation or Vampire Slayer. That's close too, actually. But still, we still do have this white rare, so... And we need 2-drop creatures very badly, and this is very good. 2-drops are very good with Anthem effects, so we're gonna grab that here. And we'll grab Militia Rallier as well. So rounding out pack 2 with some white cards. Not sure if we're going to move in that direction or not. We'll take Evolving Wilds here. Steelclad Spirit, also not bad. If we're going to end up blue-black, having a 2-drop that can block is pretty nice. But also having some mana fixing is good, and we don't know what colors we are yet. So yeah, there's another Rallier. Sure. I mean, okay, Wedding Invitation. Okay. So we're still wide open here. We could be black, white, black, blue, black, red. We could be black, green. I doubt we will be. Okay. Biolume Egg. Welcome to the team. This is a great reason to be blue-black. And as we've sort of been saying, blue felt like it was kind of flowing in pack 1. Black kind of felt like it was flowing in pack 1. So I would expect with some degree of confidence to see blue and black cards in pack 3. But who knows? It's so early in the format, too, that people are probably switching colors, doing all sorts of stuff. But the only problem with taking this is we don't have any exploit synergy for it yet. If we don't do that, we would take probably Falconmouth Celebrants or Desperate Farmer. I'm going to take the egg. Hope that we get there on some sacrifice nonsense. See what happens. Okay, a Braid, Socialite, Mind Leech Ghoul, Vampire's Vengeance, solid card. Yeah, that's kind of it. So no blue. Yeah, kind of a weird spot here because we don't have any exploit payoffs. So I guess we'll just take the Socialite. I think that makes sense to me. We have room at 4, and it's a good 4-drop to play. And honestly, our color decision might just come down to what can we actually get going at 2 mana. Because that's where we're really lacking. Okay, Rot-Tide Gargantua is not bad. That works with the egg, but it's expensive. There's a Perish Blade Trainee, which is pretty medium 2-drop, and that's sort of the definition of what our 2-drops are right now. So this is kind of decision time. Because we do want some stuff going on early. We've got the wedding announcement. But if we don't take the Gargantua here, yeesh, I think I'm going to take the Trainee. I just feel like our curve is going to be horrendous. If we take another 5-drop there, and then, like, if we play blue-black, we have no 2s. And this Cobbled Lancer's not coming down till later. I don't know if the blue-black thing is going to work out for us this time. We are seeing some white, so that's not the worst. So there's a Minister here. I think it's too late to play red, so we'll put that away. We'll put the green away. Chill the Grave, not bad. Doom Dissenter, also not bad. It's good with exploities. Shoot. I think I'm going to take the Minister. I think the Minister's enough better. But maybe we're getting a little bit in the sauce here. We're dropping some good blue. Screaming Swarm's not great, but Egg is potentially good. Thirst, Syncopate. So we're not dropping like a ton, and we do have Wedding Announcement, which is better than all of those cards. So yeah, I mean I'm not too far off. Yeah, I guess we'll take another Blood Fountain. Card's been pretty good. Blood tokens are valuable, and there's also this Heron Blessed Geist. But, yeah, I think that makes sense. Wedding Invitation, another Rallier with a lot of 3s. Don't really need more. Wedding Invitation. Do we have any vampires? 3. Um, I mean, Militia Rallier's not been the worst. I think we'll take it here. I think we're letting go of the Blue Dream. As we see a pack with no white or black, that's hurtful. That hurts. That hurts, Arena. Wash away, counter target spell. Really don't think we're playing red, although that Ridge Wolf does fit the curve. Yeah, let's take it. Blood Petal Celebrant fits the curve. We're at 23. Like, we're not... This deck is not good, but... I think it's... I still don't feel like we're playing red. But, I mean, these are very good with the Socialites. Stitch Assistant came around. Allenbach Escort. Gains lifelink and indestructible. There's also a Piercing Light. Sure. Take a 1-mana 1/1. Okay, so this draft was weird. As many drafts are early in the format. So we got pretty cut out of black, I would say, coming around pack 3. So we either misread the openness of black. I'll take a Nebelgast Beguiler, I guess. I don't know what's going on here. We're getting some UI weirdness going on. Last Rate Flesh comes around last. Yeah, this will be an interesting one to review later on, but some weird signals. Unless we either misread in pack 1 that black and blue were open, because they didn't really feel that open in pack 3. The blue kind of was flowing, but also kind of not. I do regret taking the Ridge Wolf over the Mind Leech Ghoul. That would make our curve a whole lot better, and that was clearly a mistake at the time. But, I mean, we picked up a good rare. Our curve's not the worst. So, yeah, I mean, I think this deck is going to be okay. It just doesn't have anything particularly powerful going on aside from the Wedding Announcement and some decent removal. We're a little bit light on creatures. We're playing double Wedding Announcement, which is not great. So I guess we cut a Wedding Announcement. And we could actually go up to 18 lands. We have access to multiple blood token creators in these Blood Fountains and the Socialites and the Pointed Discussion, which means that, you know, you can play more lands because we can discard lands we don't need to blood tokens, and also we kind of want to hit our land drops so that we can use Blood Fountain and get up there and cast some of our more expensive stuff. So I can see playing 18. Also, we have Wedding Invitation, which is cycles, and then later, you know, gives us some potential value there. We have 3 vamps, so not going to be giving too many things lifelink. So that's the only thing I'm really considering is are we cutting Wedding Invitation for an extra land? Our curve just would be too bad with blue as our secondary color, I feel. If we picked up like another Syncopate and maybe a couple of these Throngs or the 2-mana 3/3 that I passed up on, like we could sort of make something happen. But we also don't have any great reasons to want to be exploiting things. We could have had the Gargantua. We could have had a couple of those stitched scry 1, draw 1 guys, the 3-mana 3/2s. Those are not like premium reasons to do things, though. You know, Toxic Scorpion is a really good one. The Diver Scab's a really good one. So I feel like if we leaned into blue, we could have had a functional deck, but it wouldn't have been an amazing deck. As it stands, I think we have a functional, not amazing deck, so kind of all roads lead to the same place. So let me know in the comments what you think, if we could have ended up with something better. I think because we're playing best of 1, I'm going to lean on the Hand Smoother a little bit, the Mysterious Hand Smoother. We'll play the Wedding Invitation. We'll see how it feels. We are a little bit light on creatures at only 14. That's not great. But anyhow, let me know what you think in the comments of the draft, and we'll be right back for the first game. See you soon. All right, so our plan for this draft is to go first as much as possible and draw Wedding Invitation as much as possible. So part one of that plan is executed here. We have a good curve too. We got Blood Fountain into Recluse, which we can transform the Recluse, and then we've got Wedding Invitation for a little bit of velocity and some removal. So this is a very good hand, especially for what the quality of our deck, which is somewhat on the medium to low side, I would say. So happy with this start. Vamp Slayer we cannot cast as of yet. So we either go Recluse here or Wedding Invitation, try and hit a land drop. Probably what we'll do is we'll play Recluse, and then next turn if we don't hit a land, we'll probably cycle Wedding Invitation off of this, because that's kind of like a free, well, 1 mana way of doing that, and then hopefully hit a Plains for the Vamp Slayer, and transforms our Recluse at end of turn. Yeah, which is, worse than whatever that other card from the last set was, Ecstatic Awakener. Okay, so we got Wedding Invitation, Evolving Wilds this turn. Would like to use this blood token. Would also like to transform the Recluse. But in terms of mana efficiency, I think we do just play the Wilds and the Invitation. Oh, yeah, we probably should have... We should have potentially played the Invitation first. Just thinking, if we do draw the Plains, we probably don't play it here. We could play it, discard Evolving Wilds, actually. So that might have been a slight misplay. Yeah. So at the very least, play Invitation before you play the land there, I think is the most correct. I'm not sure that we would have actually made a different decision, because we do need to hit our land drops and things like that. But yeah, we could have had a 3/3 Recluse, which would have been okay. All right, Weaver of Blossoms is in the house. Opponent is maybe going to attack us for 1? No. Okay, we're going to go ahead and fetch a Plains. And we're going to start our turn. We're going to draw another Plains. All right, well, they were definitely blooding this turn. Is this the beginning of your instep, so we have to do it on our own turn. So I guess we'll start there. Pitch a Plains. We don't need this many lands. Probably should have spent a white to do that, since we have a Hero's Downfall. And I think we're just playing Vampire Slayer and passing. I don't think we care too much about killing Weaver. If we had Parasitic Grasp, we would, because it's a great target for that. But Hero's Downfall can kill the big thing that they play off of the Weaver. So we'll just play our 2-drop. We're going to flip this to a 3/3. Also, we have the ability on a future turn to attack with this. If it gets double blocked, we can downfall and maybe get a 2-for-1 going. And that would have been possible this turn had we made the line. Last turn I was talking about of playing the Wedding Invitation first, blooding away the Evolving Wilds, and we would have actually had a similar spot here, but we would have had a 3/3. So interesting to see how that sort of butterfly affects that decision. Okay, opponent's going to pass with 4. They're going to flip to Knight. Cool. All right, we got nothing to get back. So now we could potentially kill this wolf. This is not a vampire. This is also not a vampire. So if we kill the wolf, we potentially get to attack for 3, which is nice. Yeah, don't hate that. I think that's really our only move here, unless we just want to sort of sit around and wait. They could have Syncopate. They could have a bunch of stuff like that. Which is kind of annoying. The problem is that we're not getting any closer to actually being able to do anything. So I think we do go for this here. If they have a counterspell, then they have a counterspell. And what we could do is attack with Vampire Slayer and use Gift of Fangs to finish off a creature. Okay. That's good. So do they have the 4 or the 3/3 flying flash rare thing then? Is that what's happening? I think we get in with just the 3/3. Scattered thoughts. Okay, so really glad we made that play because they were going to cast this either way, and we would have gotten further behind. We're pretty far behind already, but maybe we can. At least we're putting some pressure on them, and if we can find some good cards off the top, then we'll be kind of in business. If we can find like a Blood Crazed Socialite, or if we do end up drawing Wedding Invitation, that'd be pretty dope. Okay. Milling a bunch of stuff here. Torrens. That's good rare. Jog Skull Infantry. All right, so one is doing things, but not amazing things just yet. Let's take our turn. Another Blood Fountain. That's nice, actually. So we'll start there. We'll discard our planes, see what we can draw, and then it might be Gift of Fangs on the infantry, although it's annoying that comes back later, but that does open up some attacks for us. So we'll see what we can rip off the top here. And I believe we want to have double black. I'm not sure that it actually matters, but I think we do want double black. Because Wedding Invitation is single white. Okay, Militia Rallier is good. Yeah. So, if we attack with the Witch, they can double block, then we don't get to play the Rallier. So that's not great. So we probably just play the Rallier and pass, right? It's more mana efficient. I guess we don't mind trading off since we have double Blood Fountain. Just, you know, how good are we going to be at flipping the Witch in the future? We don't mind trading off though. So yeah, you know what? I think we get in with both. If they want to double block the Witch, we get in for 2. We'll kill the Entomber and not the infantry. And otherwise, they might take the damage. They might think we have a trick. And we do want to get value out of these Blood Fountains and start to sort of take apart their board as best we can. They have a much better long game than us as well. This is something that I did not discuss at all this video yet, but our opponent, like, the longer this game goes, the better it is for them. They've got things that come back from the dead. They've got things that get huge if you have a big graveyard. They have 6 drops that gain life. They have rares in their deck. We don't really have any of these things. We're just sort of an aggro beatdown deck that's trying to attack. So we also do need to make sure that we're pressuring. We will not win a game of sitting around and waiting for things to happen. Okay, opponent is going to trade 1-for-1 with the 2/2. I think we were pretty cool with that. So we're going to let that happen. Not that we actually have a choice in the matter. And then we'll play Militia Rallier. And, you know, it'll be a little while before... this infantry comes back. I mean, if their next turn is just, let's play a 4-mana aura, then that's very good for us. Because they're at 6 mana. Okay, and that is what they're going to do. Alright, so they have a 3/5 that we can kill with Gift of Fangs and the Witch in combination. And so that'll be the next thing we're trying to do here. Do we hold the swamp? Potentially. But, well, we'll see what happens. So we're gonna attack with both here. Untap target creature will untap itself. They probably block the Witch here. Yep. Okay, so we do want to finish off this creature with Gift of Fangs. And this makes anything unblockable, right? Yeah, that's pretty sick. Okay. And yeah, I mean, we only have 2 creatures to get back. So do we play the land or not? If we draw something that makes blood, we're going to want it. The things that make blood that we can draw are the Blood Crazed Socialite, which we would actually just want to cast. I guess we can wait. Because we're not going to need to play 2 lands next turn, I don't think. So we'll pass. We'll pass with the land in hand. Opponent is putting their Screaming Swarm second from the top. Okay. So, yeah, okay, that's fine. So, you know, pressuring them is working out for us so far. There's still some time for them to find some big things to do. Obviously, they're drawing this 4/4 flying next turn, which is going to be pretty scary for us. So, yeah, let's get some things back from the dead here. We do have an unblockable trigger. We're not going to get to attack with this, though, this turn, are we? Okay, pointed discussion. Right. So, I guess that's a reason to have played the land last turn, because we could draw 2 and then also get to play both of our creatures. Yeah, so that was probably a mistake. Okay, but all that being said, are we just going to play 2 creatures this turn? We could flip the Recluse, make it unblockable. Next turn would be pretty good. What we need to find is like a Grizzly ritual for this thing, or a Bleed Dry, I think. But we also do want to put a creature into play. Okay, so let's start with the discussion. We'll probably pick up some extra lands we don't need. Okay, this is a nice one, actually. All right, so yeah. So Swamp, Recluse, Pitch Swamp. So a little bit of suboptimal play, I think, on my part here. Definitely early on in the game with that whole Evolving Wilds thing, and then now with not playing that land last turn. But I think we're in all right shape. Would have been cool to get to exile that with this as well. Another land. All right. So if we attack with both, that doesn't really do anything. We have another Rallier. Is there anything we want to get rid of in the yard? I mean, pretty much any of these things. So attacking with both here does turn on the Blood Fountain again. Is a potential thing. Seven mana. So my thought is we make the Witch unblockable, play Rallier, play Scavenger, and then we just might have them in a pretty tight spot after that. Hopefully they don't have a bounce spell here. That would be quite gross. And obviously they could have ways to gain life. We're certainly not out of the woods here. Doesn't look like they have any instants though. So speaking of gaining life, let's get rid of this thing in case they can get it back somehow. Because that's not good for us if they can do that. Okay, we'll play Rallier. So they're dead on board, but I mean, 3 cards in hand, plus some looting and stuff. We'll see what happens here. Also, if our Scavenger dies, we can get it back and potentially kill them that way. So this is a bit of a messy game, but I think we're in pretty good shape. Okay, so opponent milled the Ancestor and didn't maybe they did the math and decided it wasn't worth continuing to play, but they could have gone up to 6 there. Maybe that wasn't good enough if they didn't have an additional creature to come in and block. So we did get there. A little bit of a nail biter though. We'll see you in a sec. We back. Opponent goes first, but we've got 1-drops, and that's decent. So we'll keep this one. We would love to see a 2-drop. Slash, we need to find lands and stuff. But yeah, this is a pretty good start for us. Traveling Mini, and I guess Allenbach Escort next turn if we don't find a 2. Okay, we did find a 2. It's nice. Let's get in for 1, because we still are a beatdown deck at our core, even though this thing does sit around and gain life. Opponent did not have a 2. We need to find a land here. And if we do, we've got some interesting choices to make. Belligerent Guest for our opponent. Okay, we did not, but we found a card we can actually cast. So then it's like, do we cycle something like a Militia Rallier away to try and hit land drops, or do we just play Allenbach Escort as another blocker? And is this a sorcery? Right. Okay. And we don't really want to attack because we don't want them to attack us back with impunity and create blood tokens. So, I mean, this is one of those situations where, like, if our top card's a land, we look like geniuses, especially if it's a plains. But otherwise, we kind of look foolish. I think we want to do it, though. And I don't think we want to pitch the farmer because lifelink is going to be pretty valuable against red-white aggro. Okay, well, we did hit a land drop, so that's good. Let's gain a life. And I'm going to go ahead and say that we are not the beatdown deck in this matchup. Our opponent is... We've stumbled on mana a little bit. Our opponent's curving out. And so, okay, well, that's annoying, but, I mean, we didn't know that they were going to have that. So they get in, they get a blood token. We're going to hopefully hide behind some dudes here. Another land would be good here. Desperate Farmer, Militia Rallier are the options. Hero's Downfall, also potentially an option to get rid of this Belligerent Guest. I think we're okay trading creatures off rather than using removal spells because we have Blood Fountain to get them back later. So I think it comes down to Desperate Farmer versus Militia Rallier, and I think we would rather have Farmer later on. And Rallier also does not let them get through for a point of trample damage to get another blood token. So we're going to pass it back. Opponent hitting their land drops and continue to curve out on us here. Fortunately, they didn't have a dope 5-drop. Hopefully, they don't have Sure Strike here. We have to block pretty much. I guess we don't have to, but for them continuing to generate resources is a problem for us. I mean, we could take it, try to set up a situation where we're holding up like a Hero's Downfall, or if we get Desperate Farmer into play, then we get the flip off of it, which is kind of nice. If they have a trick here, they probably get the blood token anyways. We lose our dude, kind of for no value. I feel like they're not attacking if they don't have a trick. They might. They might just push for damage anyways, but... okay, I'm kind of talking myself out of this block. Let's let them get another blood. We've got 19 life. Try to build a board here where we can get the farmer going. Really hoping we were going to see a plains there. That would have been sweet. Okay. This thing has menace. So, again, we have the option of Hero's Downfall and the Guest. But I think we stick with the plan here. We go farmer. Gain a life. Pass the turn. If we hit a plains off of this, we could play the Escort, which would be pretty dope. But it doesn't make our blocks any better. But it does help us hit our land drops, which we do want to be able to do. Huh. Yeah, I think we just need to play to the board right now. Drawing cards is not a priority when we're this far behind. Even though we do want to hit lands. And I do think we want to utilize the Minister here. Yeah, just keep trying to keep our life total high. We're going to be taking some damage here, one way or another. Fortunately for us, our opponent's on 3 colors, so they're not quite as... oh boy. They're not quite as streamlined as we would have thought. Okay, well, now that this farmer is not part of the equation, I think we just take the block here. Hopefully we get the trade. If they have Sure Strike, then that's going to hurt us. I don't believe we have a way to get rid of this imprisonment, but... okay. So we're kind of stabilizing a little bit here. Guest is a nice one. Kind of. Doesn't really help us block the villager. So now could be the time to get point of discussion out there. Try to hit some land drops. We'll take another hit, which is not the best. Although, I mean, if we do just play the guest, we can just take another hit, and then next turn we'll have a blood token to pitch some things, which is also okay. And at this point, I mean, the only thing we can't cast is Grisly Ritual. So yeah, I think I'm actually okay. Continuing to play to the board here. Get some life gain going as well. Yeah, I think this is okay. And again, just do this. Gain us some life. Okay, I have no idea what this does. At the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 human. Then, if you control exactly 13 permanents, you may sacrifice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, I'll take... Oh, yeah, 12. Yeah. Okay. So, what did they kill? A Gluttonous Guest? That's fine. Okay, we still can't hit lands. We're not doing too badly, though. So we either blood or we point of discussion. So I think now is the time we point of discussion, because adding a 1/1 to the board is not all that meaningful at this point. And we do need to just find some lands here. Okay. Land is found. And we can pitch something. Found a Bleed Dry too. That's not the worst. Pitching maybe a Grisly Ritual. It's pretty slow. And they have a 1/1 token. So we're taking 4 this turn. Boo. Okay, well, I think we still just gain a life here. And Sego. So we're either pitching... I think we're for sure pitching Grisly Ritual. We have so much removal, and it's very expensive. We're hoping to double spell next turn. We should have a way to sacrifice this. Man, that Mind Leech Ghoul. That's the card, man. That's the card we needed. That's the card. Okay, opponent's got lots of blood. They're ahead on board. The only advantage we have is we have more cards in hand than them. But they're also filtering, so we're in trouble. We're in trouble. I believe we can stabilize, but it's going to be tough. All right, we're also going to cycle. Useless Grisly Ritual. Get out of here. Okay, hitting lands is good. So we can double spell. We can Bleed Dry this Fearful Villager or Hero's Downfall. Is that where we're at? I don't think so. I think we're at Allenbach, Escort, Vampire Slayer, and Blood Fountain. Gain a life and probably chill, because we've got blocks on the villager. We got blocks on everything if we do that. And we're casting spells, and if our things die, we can get them back maybe later. Yeah. And we'll continue to gain some life here. Play a Blood Fountain. And now we can start pitching lands too if we draw them. I don't think we want to pitch either of these this turn. pretty good cards. We're expecting our opponent to have more gas here, as they've been doing quite a bit of cycling. And we just need to find, I don't know, some creatures or something. We had some of those. They died. We can get those back, though. Desperate Farm. That's a good one. Don't think they're attacking us this turn, though. So that's nice. They are. Okay. Okay. All right. I respect it. Single red, so they could have deal 2. Be kind of a blowout. Feels like we're at a low enough life total that we don't really want to sit around taking a ton of damage. Yeah, they do have it. Okay. Oh, no, they don't. All right, well, that's good. You get the farmer transform. That's okay. We got removal for that. Yep. All right, so we're still in trouble here, but trying to preserve our life total, trying to draw cards that do things. Ugh. Okay, sure. Parish Blade Trainee, baby. So, we're going to be using Hero's Downfall and, I mean, trying to stabilize. Don't love our spot here, but it's a bit of a mess. Both these games have been pretty messy on both sides, I would say. Oh, boy. That's a card. That's a card. In. Jeez. Okay. And try to eat this. Definitely going to kill this. Take 2. That's okay. Yeah, okay. Well, our opponent's out of cards now, so that's something. So, do we want to get things back from the dead? We could crack a Blood Fountain, getting back like a Rallier or like a Gluttonous Guest and a Slayer. Play the Slayer. Or we cycle the planes and potentially have like Bleed Dry for the trainee. We can't actually train the trainee this turn. At least not very well. And then we're opening ourselves up to a counterattack, which is not very good for us. So also the Vampire Slayer holds this thing off. I think I like it well enough. Do we want Rallier or Gluttonous Guest? I think we want Rallier because we actually do have a creature we're trying to train. Rallier does a good job of that. And we'll gain ourselves a life. Say go. Purifier? Celebrant. It's a good attack. Respect that. We'll take it. Taking 2 first strike. It's nighttime. Okay. Opponent's got 1 card in hand. It's probably... It's either a land or it's a removal spell. More likely it's a land. If we attack with the Trainee and the Vampire Slayer, we get to kill Gluttonous Guest and Persistent Specimen if they want to double block there. If they want to double block the Trainee, we can make it indestructible and give it lifelink. They get to gain life as well. It's the beginning of your end step, though, that cares about. We also have Bleed Dry, which can potentially blow some stuff out. So it might be time to do some attacking. We're going to have Militia Rallier back to block. I think it's time. Oh boy. They've got effects. Oh, they just have Cigar's Imprisonment. Okay. That makes me feel better. All right. In. What do you got? Chump blocks only? I think we're going to play... I think we play Rallier. Yep. Chumps. Okay, that's fine. Do we have things to get back? We do. Okay, so we'll play Rallier. Hold up Bleed Dry, because we may need to kill this Purifier at some point. Rallier's a good blocker. Can't attack alone, but it can sure as heck block alone. And then if we don't need to cast Bleed Dry, we can cast or activate Blood Fountain and get grindy. Get a little grindy here. Oh, that's a big card. That's a big card. I don't like that. I don't like that thing. No attacks. So we could kill that now. And that does set us up to attack and continue to train our trainee, which I think is important to us. Not having a way to deal with this Purifier is not great, though. And the fact they've got Gluttonous Guest and ways to gain life off of these blood tokens, that means they can start to grind us out. So we may want to just do this now while we have the mana available. Just looking at our potential attacks, we could like pump the Rallier, swing with it and the trainee. I do think we're going to go ahead and do this right now. We'll see what our board state looks like in a little bit. Because I would like to train this again. Maybe it's just pump Vampire Slayer and swing with both. Since this will kill the Celebrants if they block. And then if they block this thing, you know, that's annoying. But we can give it lifelink. Socialite. That's not bad. Yeah, like, is it worth sacking Allenbach Escort to get a counter on the trainee? Maybe. It's going to get pretty big after that, because we can make it... Then we can pump Militia Rallier, make it a 4/5. So that might be worth it. Also could be fine to just chill, though. They don't have great attacks, since we've got Vampire Slayer. And we do want to be able to protect this. We also don't want to sit around for too long. I don't know. I'm not seeing a great attack here, so I think we play Socialite, make another blood token, gain a life, and pass the turn. Because like my other problem with that line I was just talking about is like if we come in with the... That's really good. If we come in with the trainee and we sack the escort to protect it because they're going to try to eat it with the 4/4, then we have no protection for it in the future. Whereas this is currently protecting it, and that's really nice. Okay, lands and stuff. We've got Guest and Rallier to get back, so let's start cycling. Hopefully finding Wedding Invitation at some point. And we're close to being out of removal as well, which is a little concerning, to say the least. Continuing to cycle. Okay. Well, we're burning through a bunch of lands, which is useful since... you know, We don't want to be drawing them in the future, but it would be nice to find something we can actually use. So what we could do is jam with the trainee and the socialite. If we give it extra power. No, probably Vampire Slayer. And then if they do block the trainee, we can make it indestructible. Gain a little bit of life, which is nice. Sack Blood Fountain, replay the Escort, maybe get the Vampire Slayer back if it dies. And then we still have blocks, and this Heron is going to be a problem for us. Okay, I like it. Yeah, because they're going to... Yeah, they can just block with Blood Pale Celebrant. That's kind of annoying. But anyways, this is what we're doing. I didn't see that. Yep. Okay, they're not going to block the Slayer. That's good for us. All right, let's make this indestructible. Gain some life. And I suppose we want to get back the Escort and probably Gluttonous Guest so that we have more cycling action. Opponent's also going to cycle. Gain life. Replay the Escort. So we're kind of burning through our equity here. In terms of both our Blood Fountains are gone. And I think all of our removal except for Gift of Fangs is gone. Gift of Fangs is good against Heron though, so we'll try to make that happen. Ugh, yeah, I don't like this. So if they have removal, we kind of have to put all three things in front of the 4/4, or we just take 6. Which we could do. Getting rid of that 4/4 would be so good for us, though. They'd have to have 2 removal spells. I think we need to do this. So we don't have removal that can kill that, so... If they have a Braid, at least it still dies. Okay, they do. Yeah. So... They have another Braid. Now they're going to give that lifelink. Okay. Trades. So 2 for 3. Not bad. We're kind of getting ahead on board-ish. Yeah, I would say we're getting ahead on board. Hello. Now we're getting ahead on board. Okay. I would like to get creatures off of this, but we also want to attack. Don't we? Maybe not. We don't have any ways to train because we lost our 3/3s. And it's if you attack with 2. So we could just attack with just the trainee. This comes back tapped. Yeah. So we attack with just the trainee. Pumped, obviously. And then we'll get tokens off of this. I think getting tokens is better than drawing cards. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I just feel like we're just going to hit more lands and stuff. And getting tokens is actually pretty good. We don't have good attacks with this anyways, so I think this makes sense. I'm maybe not rambling, but I'm talking a lot. I should probably be playing a little bit faster, but I do find all of this to be pretty interesting. Okay, we're up to 11. Let's tell them what's up. Okay, sure. Bringing back the 1/1. Guest. Make a dude. More specimens. So, I mean, we're getting a little bit lucky here. I'm probably going to jinx myself by saying this, but like our opponent playing like a little bit of lower quality cards, a little bit less of a streamlined deck, we're kind of getting lucky. I think our deck just gets crushed by like an actual, if we face opponents that really curve out and wreck us, we're gonna, yeah, we're not gonna do too great unless we curve out ourselves and draw a timely wedding announcement. But the way these games are playing out is not all that awesome to me. Also, they just have like infinite blockers over there. So, has anything changed? We could attack with Gluttonous Guest in order to draw a card rather than make a 1/1. They have 4. They can put a bunch of creatures in front of the trainee, which is fine. We get to kill. I mean, these persistent specimens are going to continue to persist, but we would get to kill Gluttonous Guest, which is meaningful because it'll let our other creatures get through, and then we get the trainee counters on like Vampire Slayer or our own Guest. That's pretty nice. So yeah, I think we go for it. They're going to get a blood token, which is not great. Oh no. They don't have to block with Guest. They can block with the Skeletons and the Celebrant. So that's not very good for us. So I don't think we have good attacks here. We'll hold on to the Wilds. I think we've got another 3/3 Menace creature in the deck that makes this thing, Bloodcrazed Socialite, that makes blood tokens, so we may want to cycle this Wilds in the future. Okay, next turn, we're going to make some moves, I think. Lishiralier, fine with it. Can train the trainee. Hold the Wilds for the same reasons. Make a dude, flip the thing. Nice. All right. So trainee can become a 5/6 next turn. So now we've got some actual attacks that make sense. Thalia is pretty good. This Heron is going to continue to get in there. And man, we're in danger of decking ourselves here. We need to make some swings. So let's do just that. Rallier gets bigger. I think it's just these two. Vampire Slayer, the problem with that is it just trades for Celebrant and Persistent Specimens or whatever. They can also just double chump here, which is not great. Thalia is really good here because it holds off our 2/2s. We still got like a bunch of turns of attacking, though. So I think we start here, and we can untap the trainee, or we can untap the Minister actually and gain extra life. That might be better to do in the future. Okay, double chump. Blood token. Pass turn. Still might want to cycle something, even though we are behind on library size. This is a grind fest. We do have the Gift of Fangs in the deck, which can shrink the Heron to the point where it can't damage us anymore. But doesn't kill it. Put on 8. Yeah, alright. Regular Recluse is not anything super impressive. Okay. Probably time to make the Vampire Slayer bigger and get him with that. And probably the guest as well. And we'll untap the Minister. We need to gain more life. Opponent has drawn removal at this point. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to get through all these skeletons. Oh, we got a little bit of damage in there. Pass it back. So grindy. Okay, opponent gives lifelink, comes in for 2. We're at 7. They're in an extraordinarily high life total. Man, this Thalia, though. Can we kill that somehow? That'd be real nice. Right. So if we maybe wait, no, we're not gonna be able to. We're not gonna be able to nab a persistent specimen, more than likely. But I guess we could try. So pumping. Gluttonous Guest, I guess. Probably just Vampire Slayer. Gluttonous Guest is going to bounce off there. Gluttonous Guest. Man, this Thalia is doing so much work. First strike is so good. Okay, cool. So now we can nab the specimen. That's actually really nice for us. Did it get exiled? So gross. Okay, well, that's okay. Get one of these out of here. Gain some life. I still don't know how we're winning this game, but might as well see it through now. And you will recall that we stumbled pretty hard on mana and getting our board developed early in the game, which kind of what led us to this state. So I think we would have done a little bit better, obviously, if we'd hit some timely land drops. Okay, we're 5 cards left. 8, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 lands. So there's only 2 spells left in the deck. I think they're the 3/3 Menace and the Gift of Fangs. So, depending on when we draw the 3/3 Menace, we can flip the Recluse. That might help us get in for some damage. Fortunately, this... I should have attacked with the Guest. Shoot, that's bad. Okay, well, it doesn't matter because the opponent takes it all anyways. So, yeah, we can just play lands out, I guess, now. Persistent Specimen is going to continue to persist. Oof. Okay, well, that might seal the deal for them. In for 2 lifelink. Jeez. Okay. Same attacks, I think. Unfortunately, our opponent's just at too high of a life total where we can't actually alpha strike them. And the Thalia is holding back all of our 2 toughness things very, very well. So, and now if we draw our Gift of Fangs, we would like to use it on the Thalia, but our opponent's got a pretty good Air Force here coming after us as well. How are they doing in library? 4-4, so we're still behind by a card. Yeah, so... Oh, boy. Okay. Right, I forgot about this one. We're at 4. So we can go to 1 next turn. And we get the 1 Gift of Fangs. And then they just kill us the turn after that. So, I think it's safe to concede here. We might as well play it out. But, yeah, I don't think we can get there. Unfortunately, deck's not great. And, didn't get to curve out this game. Stumbled a little bit. We stayed in it. Looked like we were going to die for a while. So that's admirable, but fortunately, I think we're gassed here. Another land for us, and that's going to seal the deal. I guess we'll see what's on top here. I think it's the menace creature. Okay, there's the Gift of Fangs, but still not quite good enough. I guess we can give Guest lifelink and get in, but then we just die to library size. So, all right, GG's. That was pretty epic. Kind of boring, unfortunately, but some decisions there. So let me know what you thought. If there's a way we could have made that one work. I know there were some decisions early in the game about trying to cast the draw 2 in order to hit our land drops a little bit sooner, but we were also trying not to die on board. So kind of a close game. We'll see for the next one. We're back. Game 3. Hand's pretty good. We're on the draw, which is unfortunate. We have a 2-drop into Wedding Announcement and some other things, so I'm into it. Good curve here. And lands. Opponent does not have a 2. Right on time with the Blood Fountain there. Gluttonous Guest. I think we get the Wedding Announcement started. Since when Militia Rallier is not attacking through the Guest, 4 toughness is quite nice. And then next turn, we could go Rallier, Blood Fountain. So we won't have any ways to gain the actual life with the Diagraph Scavenger just yet. And Blood Fountain allows us to transform Recluse on the following turn if we want to. Or we could even do it this turn, but then we don't get to... if we draw a 2-drop, we might consider that. We want to spend as much mana as we possibly can. But yeah, 4 toughness is a great way to stall the aggro game plan, and that's what our opponent is doing right now. 4 mana up, so there could be a counterspell here. Could just be a stumble. So I think we go... we're not going to be able to trigger attacking with 2 creatures unless we just want to throw away our Recluse, which I don't think we want to do. So I think we go Blood Fountain and Rallier. They might have a counterspell for the Rallier. That's okay. That's the way it goes. You just play through. We got to play through it, I think. If they don't, and pass the turn. So we'll continue to make a board here. Scatter Thoughts. So again, it's like you don't always passing without doing anything for fear of counterspell is not the way to go, I think, most of the time, because they don't always have it, and then sometimes they just have something else to do anyways, and it just really is not good. Not playing your spells is not advisable unless there are some situations where it makes sense to hold back, but in this case it was correct to just go ahead and play that. Okay, so we could cycle. There's no creatures to nab yet. Oh, there is. There's a Gargantua to nab. Okay, I kind of like that. And then we could cycle Grizzly Ritual, but I think we're going to need it for later. We could cycle the Swamp just to see if we hit another land, then we get to play Scavenger. If we don't, then we just play Guest. That's not bad. I do want to get this Recluse transformed because it'll be a 4/4 next turn, and that's quite good. We could trade one of these 1/1s for a card by attacking with 2 creatures. I don't hate this. We should probably use a white mana to do this though, because we could draw Hero's Downfall. We may want to cast that. Pitchy pitchy. Hey, we hit a land. Nice. Okay. So do we want to cash in a 1/1 for a card, or just make another token that's going to be a 2/2? I think we're fine just making another token. Let's get rid of this thing so they can't get that back later. Gain a little bit of life. Think we just pass. And we got a big old board. It's not a bad start for us. See what our opponent can do, though. They're in 6 mana. Diver Scob. That's a good one. Pitch Guest. And make us think about what we want to do with our lives. We've got blood, so that will flip again at some point. If we were to draw a land this turn, Grizzly Ritual's not an instant, right? Yeah. But it would open up some sweet attacks for us if we were to draw a land this turn. So I think for that reason we could put it on the bottom. Okay, we did hit a land. And let's go for that. Make a couple of bloods. And let's get in there. Opponent gonna block a 2/2 and take 11. And they're gonna gain a life. So they're gonna be at 8. No cycle. Interesting. Okay, well they're in trouble here. So, you know, a timely wedding invitation. Looking good this game. Good curve out draw. This is what we wanted. Okay, opponent's packing it in. Nice. We're on the board. See for the next. Welcome back. We're on the draw yet again, but our curve is not the worst, so we'll take it. You know, hopefully we can find a 3-drop to train this. Opponent no 2-drop, that's nice. We've got a not great 2-drop. Alright, unfortunately Gift of Fangs does not deal with that. Gluttonous Guest helps to deal with that. As you can see, our deck is kind of a little disjointed here. We've got white creatures that want to attack, and then we've got Gluttonous Guest that wants to block. And this is, you know, this is awkward. But you can't always you don't always end up with a streamlined deck. So sometimes you just gotta scrap it out. That's what we're doing here. And okay, we're getting kind of rocked. So really need to draw a land here. Really need to draw land. So I guess we Wedding Invitation. Try to hit a land. I guess that's kind of all we can do. Yeah, that's really rough. The combination of them having removal and us not hitting a land drop, and us having not a good 2-drop, is pretty bad. And our Gift of Fangs not being active. So I think we're gonna. This might be crazy, but I think we pitch Gift of Fangs here. It's either that or Grizzly Ritual. They gotta have a target for this eventually, but they're on black-red, and most of their cards are going to be Vamps. So we need to hit a land drop very badly, so we're definitely pitching something. I guess it should probably be Grizzly Ritual. We have our other 2 big removals, and this is a lot of mana. Hopefully we'll be able to get value off of this. Okay, nice. Hit the land. We could cycle again. For now, I think we'll just pass. I guess we're attacking, actually. We're not blocking. If we were going to cycle, it could be the gift. Let's see what they play this turn. Our turn. No play. No play. We need to find black if we want to deal with this belligerent guest as well. Jeez. I think we're supposed to cycle his gift. I don't know. Probably gonna look foolish in a second, but we're pretty far behind, and like we need to find ways to actually do something. Bloodcrazed Socialite isn't even that good of an option. It doesn't block very well at all. Yeah. Allenbach Escort. Not right now. Let's go Socialite. I should have attacked first. Unlikely they're going to use their removal on the 1-2, but if they have it at all. Looks like they've got something for this. Sigarda's Imprisonment. Nice. Okay. This card's been good. I think this is actually playable in this set. Okay, so don't feel silly yet for discarding our Gift of Fangs. In for 3. Opponent's got lots of blood tokens. Take our turn. Vamp Slayer. We can't cast any of our removal. But yeah, I mean, at least we've got some potential blocks here. And I think we will cast the Blood Fountain. And we're not in the spot. We're in the exact spot we don't want to be, which is trying to not die. Because this game, if we do stabilize, is going to turn into game 2 where it just goes on forever. Opponent's got a lot of filtering though, and a lot of card draw here. Four counters on this, so they're gonna, yeah, this is gonna be pretty tough. This is gonna be pretty tough. Is this instant speed? Sure is. Okay, so that thing can kill a thing. So do we want to put everything in front of Belligerent Guest? Probably not. I think we just put the Vamp Slayer in front. So they can Harvester it away. And then they still have their guest. If we were to put the other 2 creatures in front, the guest would die. Both our creatures would die. That's not good for us. Our opponent's got a ton of card advantage. I don't think we can afford to really do that. Okay. Yeah, that's also good. Okay, make another blood. Yeah, this one didn't really pan out very well. Might be scooping it up pretty soon here. Yeah, no double black for us. I'm get back 1 creature. I actually probably should have cycled that land. Oh, man. Yeah, I should have cycled that land. Get back one creature who can't cast it. We're 10. We don't have blocks. Okay, I think we're going to move to the next game. We could play this out, but I don't see it getting any better for us. So, yeah, unfortunate. I mean, just kind of our deck not being very good. And kind of an awkward draw. See you for the next. All right, I like going first, and I like that we have Wedding Invitation on the play. Unfortunately, we don't have any small creatures to get the party started, but I think we keep it just because of how bad our deck is, and that means we're going to get punished harder by mulligans because we're less likely to draw functional hands, and we like kind of need every piece of the buffalo, as it were, to do anything. So I think we keep it, but obviously not a terribly exciting hand. But at least we get this started. This will generate some creatures for us. We got some removal, so we got a chance to do something here. Opponent coming in for 2. Double strike. 1 double strike for a total of 2. And oh boy, that's a good card. We got removal for it, and I think we want to utilize that probably right away because they just get to draw a bunch of cards off of this thing. So yeah, I think we just kill this right now. Attack for 1, make another token, and say go. No blocks. We'll take 2. And I guess next turn we're Diagraph Scavenging. Sadly, a little bit mana inefficient, but I think it's worth it. Okay, well now we actually get an Escort, which is pretty nice as well. A little bit mana inefficient, but better that than drawing 2 cards, I think, at this point. Innocent Traveler. I feel like this card is like kind of good, which is weird because it looks really bad. Okay. Yeah, let's exile that. Drain. Play a 1/1 and no attacks. Make another 1/1 and get a big board. We're a land away from being able to kill that. So sacrificing creature doesn't make any sense to me, so we'll let them transform it. But yeah, with the amount of humans running around, that's a little bit scary, eh? Once it's 17. Heron of Hope is good. Boy. It's tough for the aggro deck out here, eh? So if we kill the Heron, they can block something. They can bring this back. Give this double strike. They're taking 8 in the process, which is useful. Down to 8, down to 9. If they want to spend their turn doing this and attacking us, down to 3. 2, 4, 6. We would have lethal on them the following turn. So that does not become an option for them. It's a bit of a Hail Mary. If we just kill Malicious Intruder and attack with just our 3/3. And block with Twin Blade Geist, put it on the Heron. I kind of just like trying to get this game over with as quickly as possible, since we're pretty much running out of gas here. Okay, they're going to trade off. They go to 8. Yep, that's fine. So we still have lethal. Okay. In. Okay, so if they have a blocker here, we're kind of in trouble. No blocks. So they must have removal. They must have Parasitic Grasp. Is there any reason to cast Pointed Discussion? We don't have any way to... Like, our Gift of Fangs wouldn't help us. We don't have any way of saving our creature from removal. I guess we see what's on top. Yeah. Okay, well, unfortunately they have the Grasp here, it would seem. Oh, they have Fierce Retribution, nice. Yeah, so a little bit aggressive on our part. Maybe a little too aggressive. For some reason I was thinking this costs 4 on the other side, and it does. It only costs 3. Well, obviously it didn't work out. You know, could have gone a different way there, but it unfortunately did not. So 2 and 3, pretty brutal result. As we said, the draft didn't go very well, and the deck just wasn't that good. It was a little bit disjointed. Black-white, not like a super well-supported color pair. We were a little bit split between aggro and control. I think the big lesson, I think the big pick that threw us off actually was taking that 2-drop red creature over the Mind Leech Ghoul. I think that might have set us up a little bit better to play blue-black, which I ultimately feel is maybe the deck that would have given us the best shot. But yeah, it'll be an interesting draft to go back and see, you know, where we could have made a couple of different decisions. I know that is the one that's really standing out to me. But sometimes drafts just don't go that well, and that certainly feels like, you know, that's what happened to us there, and to some extent. So let me know in the comments what you think. We'll be back with more videos, and we'll be trying to crack this format. Thanks for watching. As always, please click like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you very soon. Bye for now.